Hot dog water. Hot dog water in the house. Hot dog water. Hot dog water. Hot dog water in the house. Hot dog water. Sup, 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 sup. Man, another great day over here. It's a little cloudy today, overcast, some wind. It's nice and cool. It says it's 81 degrees. My car says it's 81 degrees. I'm still sick a little bit, but I'm feeling better. Took some medicine this morning. Last night I used like that nasal drain stuff. Put that shit. I mean, excuse me. Put that stuff in a little bottle, water bottle thing. You shoot it up your nose and it clears out your nostrils. Help clean out. Then I used like a little bit of a nasal spray. I could breathe at night when I went to sleep, and that was nice. And my nose was unclogged in the morning when I woke up, so that was really nice. Um, so we're broadcasting today live and direct from the Hot Dog Water Studios. I can see the American flag flying in the wind over here. Some clouds. Yeah, my health, my throat ain't sore today, so that's nice. Feeling all right. My coworker came back from his little vacation. He was, I think he was fine with his girlfriend because he got a little attitude with me in the morning, but I just left him alone, and I think he's back to normal now. I think he realized he was about to get slapped up and choked out. But I'm glad he's back. Need someone to make fun of. Need someone to put down, make fun of, and step on, and crush and destroy while I'm at work. But man, I've been thinking about. Let's see, thinking about what's it called, the simulation theory. Been thinking about that, and I've been thinking about the stuff that happened in Charlotte with the shanking that went down in Charlotte on the rail system. Um, man, cause I got some stories. I got a story about a guy that was hanging out at the bar last year. I went in there. The only people that were in the bar was the bartender and this guy. And this guy was in the bathroom when I had walked in, and he had been in the bathroom for like a good 20 minutes. I figured he was getting high or something, and throwing up or getting high or something like that. And the bartender had told me that he knew a lot about the Bible, but that he had been walking around outside, and he was having a bad day. So she bought him a beer, bought him a drink, like a shot and a beer, and was being nice to the guy. And but the guy had his gun on him, so she put it in her car, and the guy came out the bathroom. I got like a weird vibe from him. Super hood dude. He ain't mess with me or nothing, but he sat down and he started. I heard him over talking about. He was really blitz, and he started talking about the color purple. He said, "Man, the color purple is a very special color," and he just started getting like really very deep and esoteric on on some BS, if you ask me. Like, I understand how like the scriptures and stuff and occult knowledge or esoteric knowledge and sounding deep is like can be very seducing. Um, and you got to be careful with that at all times, especially if you've been drinking and stuff like that. Um, so the guy ends up leaving. I ended up talking to the bartender over the next couple days. This guy ends up seeing him again. End up seeing him again like the next day or the day after. Um, and this bar is known for like some shady activity. But to make a long story short, this guy ends up shooting somebody and killing them over the next week. It happened in like a week of that first incident. Um, he had so far this I don't know. The story was like he had asked for or he got a ride from somebody. They were like in the next town over. They got out the car, got in an argument, shot the person. Um, some of his peoples came to the bar, you know, talking about it. And then he showed up at the bar after that, and he turned himself in. He took a Uber from the bar. He had a last drink, took an Uber from the bar, and like took the Uber to the police station. So I had a bad feeling about that guy. I did think about like maybe praying for him or something like that, but at the same time, I was kind of like, don't know if I want to open that can of worms. Uh, I just kind of felt, I was like, but it's like that situational awareness, man. Got to watch out for people acting crazy, people that are just kind of unhinged. Like the guy was just kind of unhinged. That's kind of why I didn't want to get too close to him or like pray for him or anything like that. Especially if he didn't ask me, I didn't want to like engage in a conversation. But you always got to watch out for that stuff. I have another story about um old girlfriend of mine. She After high school she got married. This happened like a couple years ago. She got kids and stuff. She said her kids and her husband were at the mall, and like some crazy homeless dude came up to them and was like, and almost hit one of the kids like on the top of the head. But like her husband had his hand on top of the kid's head and it smacked her husband's hand. I was like, man, I would never let someone get that close. I don't know. I think maybe some people, I don't know. To me, it's like street smarts and stuff. You don't want to get into like arguments. You don't want to get too close to people. Don't want to get too personal with people, especially at bars or even in public. Like, and then physically, and you don't want to give them even the opportunity. You got to see it coming from like down the street. You got to see the trouble coming, and you got to avoid that stuff. Um, that's why I only go to certain bars. Um, there's only certain bars that I feel that are safe around where I live because of the gangs that operate, or they at least used to operate. There was always a lot of gang stalking and people putting stuff in putting drugs and drinks and things of that nature, and people getting kidnapped, having people getting in fights and shootings, and a lot of that kind of stuff happens at certain places, and some places have just like a bad vibe over them, and some places get taken over. They get taken over by the gangs, so where they can sell their little like nose candy and stuff to serve young little white suburban kids. Um, and like the crime gets pushed over on the different sides of town, and then place just ends up becoming a hot spot. And next thing you know, like it can happen over years. It all, if people don't watch out and people don't kind of look out for their spot, it depends on how it could get overrun quickly, become a hot spot for delinquent behavior. Um, and so it's like victimology 101. Don't go to places alone. I have another friend that she went out somewhere, had some drinks, some dude bought her like a couple of shots or something, and she shouldn't have been driving in the first place. But then she went to her car to leave, and then the guy was outside, and the guy approached her car, and it was like during the wintertime, and asked if he could like sit in the car with her, and she let him. And then next thing you know, he's like asking her for a ride, and um, yeah, she gave him a ride, and she was completely annihilated. Shouldn't have been driving. If the police would have like caught her driving and all that stuff, like she was already in trouble. Let's just say I don't want to get too personal, get too deep in it, but she already had like a history of arrests, and if she would have been caught again, I was like, why did you put yourself out there? Why'd you? Sometimes you got to be selfish. Why'd you put yourself out there for some guy you don't even know? And then she started crying about it, said that he used her. I don't know what that was exactly meant, because I was just upset that she even told me like she just doesn't care, like doesn't have no love for herself to have any kind of to see safety or whatever, to like see danger and safety. Um, got another story about someone's son that they're driving around with they had no spare tire in their car, and they didn't have any they didn't have a lug nut wrench or a spare tire, or what's it called, not the cat, the thing to jack up the car jack. riding around, no car jack, no lug nut tire wrench, or no lug nut wrench, nothing. And then she had a flat tire, and then had like some nails. I pulled like 3 nails out of her tire. Later on, I found out like the I could hear like a little hissing sound coming out the side of the wall of the tire. So I was like, well, I can't patch that one up. You just need a new tire. You need to get a new, not a new one. You can get a used one for like $40. I was telling her this for weeks, for weeks, for weeks. I had to tell her where to where to look on the side of your door on the driver's side. Right there on the side, you see a little like sticker. It's like 2 inches long, 2 inches wide or something, and it's got some numbers on there. It should say like the PSI, the front tires, the rear tires. It should say all that, what the size is and everything. She riding around with a. She had to put air in her tire like 3 times a day at work or something. Like when she before work, she had to pump up the tire for air. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. Then she get to work, park. Then when she get off break, if she had to go anywhere, she had to fill it up with air again. And that's how she was doing it for like weeks. I don't know how long she was doing it. I was like, get a used tire. Get a used tire. Get a used tire. There's plenty of places. Go get a new tire. Go get a new tire. She finally got a new tire. Went to Walmart. Um, Man, and her son wrecked. One day she calls me up at like 7 in the morning. Calls me up. Her son like wrecked the car. Like wrecked didn't wreck the car, but the whole tire was shredded. We got there. They didn't have the spare tire or anything to even change the tire. So I went over there, put my car jack under the tire, jacked it up, used my lug nut wrench, got the tire off. We went to an automobile like a advanced auto place or Pet Boys or something like that. And I asked the cashier, the guy working there, like, hey, you know any places? He was like, yeah, there's a place like down the street over there that sells used tires. Boom. Called there, asked them if they had it, because that's what you got to do when you're in an emergency. And I guess maybe because of Boy Scouts, was trained for like some emergencies. Um, and we went and got the tire fixed. We got that tire. She paid the money. Got her son. Her son's in the car with me. He had to spend the whole night in in his car. In his car the whole night. I'm talking about from midnight till like 8 in the morning. He had to just sit in the car, just bored out of his mind. And if he would have had, he had probably been drinking and smoking or something. But if he would have had like all the stuff he needed to change the tire, he could have like changed it and gotten home. And he didn't have a good relationship with his father at the time. He could have called his father or somebody, because she couldn't. Her mother couldn't go pick him up because he had the car. They were sharing the car, so no one could go pick him up. Maybe they could have went and got him, took him home. They could have slept, and then in the morning fixed the car. But like all that was out the window, because putting your safety in other people's hands, or not thinking about your safety. You're driving around not thinking about the things you need, like if what would happen if you don't have the spare tire and things like that. And those cars didn't come with a spare tire, because nowadays they think people are just gonna pay for assistant roadside maintenance and stuff and call somebody. But man, who's got money for that? We ain't rich around here. Um, so I got another story about this happened a couple months ago. It happened in South America where my dad lives, downtown at the plaza where my father lives. There was a bunch of school kids. I mean, there's a lot of people there. People are more outside than they are here. It was like a Saturday, it was a weekend, bunch of kids out, teenagers. Some kids got into a fight. Two teenagers jumped this other teenager, and they ended up shanking him in the legs. Dude got shanked in the legs, and when he stood up, realized he got shanked in the leg. It looked like they hit like a major artery in his thigh. The dude bled out. And when I watched the video, it was the most disgusting part about the video was that like there's like 50 people. There had to have been like 50 people, like just standing around, 50 to 75 people just standing around in a circle around this dude while he bled out. No one thought to like, and no one's really helping. No one can even see what's going on because you'll see a big crowd. Um, there was even security at the plaza. No one thought to put a tourniquet on this kid's leg, which someone should have took a belt off right away. Probably put the tourniquet on his leg. The hospital was about maybe 10 blocks up the road. Kid bled out and passed away. Sad, like it just, I was disgusted just by that. Like how this new generation, people don't know what to do. They're not trained in emergencies. So I'm thankful for my parents. Maybe I was neglected, but I'm thankful that my parents had me in all these like Boy Scout activities and all these extracurricular activities, where I got to learn all these like life saving like stuff. But so it goes back to the stabbing in Charlotte. Stabbing in Charlotte, like no one helped, no one cared, no one probably knew what to do. Take off your shirt, tie it in a knot, and put the knot on the wound or whatever, man. Put some pressure. Like right away in a situation like that, someone called 911 ASAP right away because it looked like it hit like a major artery, and then people not caring. That's a horrific scene to imagine yourself being in, especially over a fight like the one that happened to the kid that I was saying in South America. Like he gets shanked in the legs. Maybe they thought they were stabbing him, and like it wasn't like a vital area, but it ended up being a vital. They ended up hitting a vital artery. Might not have expected it, and man, like that's 3 lives gone. Think about that. How the devil's working overtime. 3 lives gone. Now with this one in Charlotte, it's 2 lives gone. Devil took 2 people out. Now think about the shooting too in what was this in Minneapolis, Minnesota? No, I don't know if it's Minneapolis, but in Minnesota, wherever it was, devil working overtime there too, man. I've been saying it. Some people don't believe me. I talked to some other guys in the military. And I don't believe in that. So whatever. Like you don't know what you're talking about. None of that stuff's real. God, the devil, demons, it ain't real. All right. I used to think it was some BS too, man. But I think it is, man. I think the intrusive thoughts that people have, especially when they get demented, and like this kid in a bad place wherever he was at mentally. I don't know. I did see in the picture that he sent. I didn't read the manifesto or nothing like that. But man, I mean, I could just see it plain as day. That's what it looks like to me. Kid let the dark side take over, because you got to think of it like this. Why do you want to give your freedom away? If you go by this course of action, you harm someone else. Like, why are you going to harm someone else? Especially some innocent people. That's just, you got to know that's wrong. Like, the only way to get past that, like, you got to know that's wrong. That's wrong. And, like, that takes a whole leap of, like, you're crossing a boundary, like, that you shouldn't cross, man. You are. You're taking it to a whole nother level. You really want to give up, like, you really want to give up your cereal, your Saturday morning cartoons, and your cereal, and your internet, and your Wi-Fi. For what? For that? If you would have lived, you would have went to prison forever. And it still would have been another life lost. Like, it's not worth it, man. Giving up your freedom is not worth it. You should never, anytime you get put in a situation like that where you think, that's what this channel is all about. Common sense, being reasonable. You should walk away, man. Walk away from all that stuff. Walk away from all those crazy ideas. Any ideas thinking that you gotta go crazy, do something really, really crazy to the next level. Most times those are just intrusive thoughts in your head. Those are the demons in your head, man. Making you think you gotta do this, peer pressure. You gotta do this because you gotta look a certain way to the girls. You gotta act hard to get the girls, right? And the girls only respect, the guys that are hard, the ones that fight, the ones that got the guns, that sell the drugs, that got the money, And then that's how you end up getting your wig split, all for chasing some tail. Nah, man. You gotta use your brain, man. So we covered that one. So like, I'm talking about some situational awareness too, man. Sometimes you can just go into a place, and I've had some women speak to me recently that I go anywhere. Like it doesn't matter if I go to the hood, it's all good. I'm like, that's because you're a female. Like, of course, everyone wants to like wants the females around. They're gonna like be nice to you and stuff. But like, as a dude, you can't just like you can. I mean, I can go to places. I can go anywhere I want, bro. I go anywhere I want. But man, I mouth off. I say the wrong thing sometimes. I ain't that cool. Nah, man. Like I ain't like I get into been into plenty of fights, and only by the grace of God that I'm still here to even talk about them. Only it's only it wasn't me being strong, me being better. Nah, man. Nope, nope. Don't even brag about that stuff, man. I got some candy in my hand right here, some Smarties. Nope, nope, nope. That's probably why I'm making these videos right now. Nah, man, like the grace of the Almighty, that's the only reason I'm even here. I don't even I could tell those stories, but man, yeah, watch out for your situational awareness. I mean, we studied this stuff in like forensic science, man. Victimology 101. Don't be a victim of crime. It's good to have a it's good to have like a I mean, it's good to have like an open mind and not be biased. But you know, there's implicit bias. There's a bias that you can't get rid of. Hold up. Yeah. You're not a robot. You're a human. You're born with bias. That's what you gotta realize, man. You're not perfect. You can't be like, oh, I'm not racist. I'm not this. I'm such a good person. Like, no, you're not. What's that one dude Sharp? There's that meme. He's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Like, nah. Like, even the good stuff you do is like some BS. You do it for a BS reason. I do too. I mean, I do it for a BS reason. Like, you gotta take a good look at yourself, man. Take a good look in that mirror. But yeah, don't be a victim of crime and stuff. This channel, we'll talk about the Chicago stuff too. I'm seeing the Chicago stuff on the internet, both sides. The thugs talking about don't come over here like we crazy. And then you got the guys like in the military, like or even the civilians, like man, you boy, can't wait for the national land. I ain't scared of the National Guard either. Like I wanted to join the National Guard, but not that they ain't tough, but it's all this junk talking back and forth online that I think is dumb. And I could see that like years ago when the internet first came out, back in like not first came out, but like in 2003, when I was way younger, like 23 years old, I probably would have engaged in stuff like that, like want to be edgy, want to talk junk, like represent my hood or whatever, because both sides are just representing their sides, their points of views and their sides. All I'm saying is this is the channel of um this is the channel of common sense. Everyone just calm the F down. Calm the F down. Like I said, you ever feel like you gotta do something really violent? Like you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Walk away. When you can, don't walk away, but don't turn your back. Walk away with your back. Walk away. Don't give no one your back so they can like sucker punch you. But nah, but like walk away before it even happens. Walk away like right away. Like walk away like I see stuff coming from a mile away. I'll tell you another story. A couple years ago, we had this party for a friend of ours that had cancer. Cause I think he beat it or something. So we had like some party or something. But we were all at the beach. I'm talking about we're all adults too. Like we're all grown up. So I'm talking about a bunch of my married homegirls were there. Then we had like some married couples. Then a couple of single guys like me and a couple of other friends. Like, but we're all friends. Like we've all known each other for like 25 years, 30 years. Um, we were all at the beach. Some like the downtown area of the beach in the city, and everyone was saying like, we need to meet up and we need to ride this limo. Like the person that was kind of in charge, the friend that was kind of in charge, was like, we're riding this limo. I was like, man, I'm not riding on that limo with y'all. I was like, I don't know what it was either, but that's just kind of how I am through all the things that I've been through in my life. Like, no one else got it. Everyone got kind of trapped on that limo because the thing was that they had gone to this party. They'd all left their hotels, gone to the limo, got taken to the downtown area. At the downtown area, the person that was in charge of the whole thing blew up, got mad, cussed them all out, and everything got weird, and they all had to ride back together. But because of me, I missed the whole thing because I'm driving myself. I'm driving myself on my own time. I don't ride with people no more. I grew up riding around with people, driving people. You basically like getting kidnapped, man. I'm a big fan of not putting my life in other people's hands. I'm not serious getting kidnapped, but it's like you're at the mercy of someone else's will. And if they want to do drugs or get high or drink and stuff, you're riding with them and like you have no control. Like, I want to go home. I'm ready to go home. Or like, what are we doing? Like, take me home. And so I ride myself and I don't ride with other people either, man. I've had too many like acquaintances that have gotten out of pocket, I guess to say, saying some smart Alex stuff, and then it turns into something like after like it ends up turning into something else, man. We end up getting in a fight, and then it's like kind of over. Then it gets squashed, and it's all good because we're grown men or whatever. But gotta watch out for acquaintances too, man. Don't hang out with acquaintances too much. People at the bars, they're not your friends. Real friends don't just drink and smoke together. If you drink and smoke with somebody, that's not a true friend, a true friend. Yeah, they could be cool. Not saying like they're like the enemy or nothing like that, but real friends have like more deeper, in-depth conversations about some other stuff and away from and do other things together. I got friends right now that I've known or people that acquaintances that think they're my friends, and I tell them like, man, we're not friends. They get all butthurt. I've had that happen, and then they get mad. They get mad too. They get mad like when you do cut them off. Like, hey, I can't mess with you, so I don't even tell them no more. But I gotta get back to the aerobics warehouse and stock up on more hot dogs and aerobics equipment. So holla later, 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 later.